You hear that? It's the sound of freedom. I swear to God, that's how they dropped the title in this movie. Shh! You hear that? It's the winds of change. Yeah, it's winds of change. What a creep. One of these days, I'm gonna have you teach that guy a lesson. Chalubi, baby. Okay, I'm just getting sidetracked quoting Monsters, Inc. I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching. People, this movie deals with a very serious subject matter. I'm trying to have a little fun here. Sound of Freedom comes to us from Angel Studios, who are best well known for The Chosen, His Only Son, and... oh fuck, that's all I know him for. And this is based off the true story of a Homeland Security agent, played by Jim Caviezel, who embarks on a dangerous mission to rescue hundreds of children from sex traffickers. And I'm just gonna say it, what a weird freaking movie to release on 4th of July week. Yeah, it's not like it's just by coincidence. No, they purposely meant for this to be released on the week of 4th of July.
Sound of Freedom opens the week of July 4th. Every parent, every adult, and every teenager in America should be there to see it.
Hey man, you wanna go see the new Indiana Jones movie? Nah, screw that. Let's go see the sex trafficking movie, bro. Okay. I'll be honest, I didn't know much about this movie till late last week, nor did I have any obligation to see it. But then two things got me to go see it. The trailer actually did not look that bad, and some of the crazy ass people I've had to deal with at the theater that I work at. I'll get more into that at the end of this video. And, wow. This is a first for me. This is like the first movie I've had to talk about like this. A movie with such a serious subject matter. Yeah, we've had our fun with the Nicolas Cage Dracula, The Flash, Vin Diesel doing his dumb shit. But now, we gotta talk about something like this. This is a very bleak and disturbing movie. From the moment it starts, you feel disgusted, unpleasant, uncomfortable, but that is the purpose of this movie. The stuff depicted here is very real, and sadly, it is happening somewhere out there, even though we don't want to believe it. Jim Caviezel was really damn good in this movie. In his line of work, you can tell that this man has seen some shit and is traumatized by it. There is a really damn good scene where he has to set up a sting operation by making this fake sex hotel to lure in the sex traffickers, and he has to pretend to be one of them while all the kids are sitting right over here, and you can tell that he's kind of struggling to do this when he just wants to save all of them. But my stupid ass at one point forgot this is based off a true story, and I was like, is this gonna end like Inglourious Bastards? Like they get all the sex traffickers into one place, and then they like grab all the kids, and then they go in and blow up the place, guns a-blazing? I just watched Inglourious Bastards for the first time. It was a great movie. I love it. I did read some IMDb trivia, and one that caught my attention is that Jim Caviezel considers this his most important role since playing Jesus in The Passion. Which, I mean, yeah, it is a major step up from getting your ass beat for 2 hours.
I'm actually starting to like it.
That wasn't a movie, that was a snuff film. You can't charge people to watch a guy get tortured for 2 hours.
As for the other actors, they're fine. Maria Silvino is in it, but she's pretty throwaway. Yeah, despite Caviezel saying his wife is part of his motivation for stopping these pedophiles, she's not really in it that damn much and has maybe 1 or 2 scenes. Oh, and Bill Camp's character. For some reason, he might have 2 names in this movie. So, on IMDb, he's put down as Vampiro. So, vampire, replace the E with an O. But on Rotten Tomatoes, his name, I shit you not, is Batman. I almost thought about throwing the costume on again, but nah, that's gonna take too long. Batman, really? They also do a great job at depicting these pedophiles as the scumbags they are. It very much does get to the point where you want to see Caviezel go John Wick or Sisu on their asses. Which actually, that's not a bad idea for a movie. Take Sisu, but replace the Nazis with pedophiles. This movie isn't particularly graphic in any way, but you can put together in your head what happens, and it's just sickening. I am glad that Angel Studios distributed this one, because I've glimpsed at a few things they've done, and it is for a specific audience, but it seems like they actually try and put out some good quality stuff despite having such a low budget. Now I feel like if a company like PureFlix were to get their hands on this, it might have ended up being Comedy Event of the Year unironically, because they would have done everything wrong. They probably would have done some dumb shit like comparing child sex trafficking to a game of kickball. Okay, to get some context of what the hell I'm talking about, in the movie Unplanned, they compare abortion to burgers and fries.
So Abby, let me explain something to you. Fast food outlets look to break even on the hamburgers they sell. That's all they do, is break even. Do you know how they make their money?
No.
On the French fries and the soda, the low-cost, high-margin items.
Cheryl, I'm sorry, but I don't understand.
Abortion is our fries and soda.
As for the rest of the movie, it's good, and it does get its message across very well, but it's flawed. It's really freaking flawed. One of its biggest issues is the pacing. It is 2 hours and 15 minutes long, and by the time we get done with the whole thing with the fake sex hotel, it feels like we should be wrapping up. But nope, we got at least another 40-45 minutes left because, the one specific child they're looking for wasn't there. So yeah, the movie has 2/3 acts. After that, I started to get bored and almost dozed off at once. One small rewrite, and this could have been a good hour 45 to hour 50. The villains were also a little cartoony at points, but that does also make you want to see them get their comeuppance more and more. Hell, they're so cartoony that at one point, they get around a campfire and basically do this. At the beginning of this movie, this dad accidentally gives his 2 kids to sex traffickers, and I'm sorry, but there are so many red flags that are indicating that something is not right here. It starts off with a little girl singing in her room, and then this woman shows up at her house, and she's like, "Oh my god, I could hear you in the streets. Oh, your voice is so beautiful. I haven't seen you in forever. Where is your father?" And then she basically talks to the dad and the girl, and then the brother walks in, and she's like, "I'm gonna make your kids a star." It then cuts to the dad and the 2 kids on a bus. They then go to this hotel. Already a lot of red flags there. And in this room, in this pretty sketchy looking hotel, is a circle of kids and a camera in the middle of them. Dude, run! Oh, and then this woman tells the dad, "Oh yeah, no parents, come back later." He comes back, everything's gone, and even the number on the door falls off. Father of the freaking year. I mean, yeah, this woman just shows up at your house. It's like, "I want to make your kid a star," and you just go with it. Smart choice. And I guess nobody else worked at the police building because Caviezel can just take a prisoner out of his cell and talk with him in the empty lobby. They also got some of the most obvious looking pedophiles in this movie. Like, if you showed me a picture of him, I'd be like, yeah, go get his ass. Then that all plays out weird because they end up arresting the same guy twice. Once at home and again when he's talking to Caviezel at a diner. Maybe one was a flashback, I don't know. There'll even be points where he'll save and stop somebody, and we'll have a whole flashback about it, even though we know the outcome. I'm also on the fence of would I 100% call this a religious movie. I mean, there are definitely elements to this film that would qualify it as one, but at the same time, it never really feels like one. Now, I'm not trying to compare this to something like Unplanned, War Room, or God's Not Dead, because it's not preachy like those. I'm not trying to shove the message down your throat. But with it being so bleak and gritty, you do forget what kind of movie it technically is after a while, even with lines like, "Would you sell God's children?" Sound of Freedom is a good enough movie that I think everyone at least needs to see once. And to be a little honest, once I got out of the movie, I kind of had the same reaction with it as I did with the movie Till last year. Great movie, wouldn't see it again, and who the hell would want to go see this on a Friday night? But Sound of Freedom is like a perfect movie for a matinee price. It's probably not one that's going to stick with me after a while, besides a few key moments, but I'm glad I gave it a shot. And I'm going to give Sound of Freedom a B. But, despite my opinion on this movie, there is something involving it that is driving me up the walls insane. The people going to watch this movie. Let me explain. So for those of you who don't know, I've mentioned this a number of times. I work at a movie theater, and I work at a movie theater that's in that area where there's a lot of church groups that would love to come see a movie like this. These people are driving us up the walls insane about this freaking movie. There would literally be people yelling at us on the phone, "You gotta get this movie! If you don't, they're taking a gun to your head!" Fucking insane, right? Then they'll also be saying, "This movie is very important," which, yeah, I could get where people are coming from with that. But the way they're taking it is to the motherfucking extreme. But hands down my favorite is this crazy bitch that called us last week asking if we were getting it. We didn't know yet. And she said, "If you guys don't get this movie, you're going to hell." 2 things. 1, bitch planned on it. And 2,
boy, you're going to hell. Send for birds for watching the birds, and now this is your deal. We're going back to see Disneyland Tale.
yeah, you better go see Sound of Freedom or else you're going to hell. Guess I'm not. I've seen the damn thing. I even talked about it and gave it a good review. And one thing I did not know about until the other day is that they're trying to do this marketing campaign to say this movie is selling out everywhere. Now, at first, yeah, it was bullshit. But, no, it's very real. We sold out like 3 showings the other day. Actually, it got so bad that I started joking with one of my friends at work, like, hey man, you wanna write the most raunchy, offensive, R-rated comedy, like early 2000s shit, and then sell it as a religious movie? He was like, fuck yeah. I mean, hell, if we sold it to Angel Studios and advertised it, you know that audience would go see it. Oh, and the movie has nothing to do with, like, religion or anything. We're just gonna write a raunchy, offensive, R-rated comedy. Early 2000s shit. And it's like, yeah, we're just gonna have to say God or Jesus once or twice to put that in the trailer. Oh, and just a heads up on a couple things. I did see Joyride, and I'm hoping to get a review out for that. But the new Insidious movie, I'm gonna have to skip because I've been so goddamn busy this last week. Yeah, Sound of Freedom I saw on Monday. It is now Friday that I'm recording this. And I have not seen any of the other Insidious movies. I know for this newest one, you only gotta watch the first 2. So I'm hoping in between stuff I'm doing this weekend and having to go see the Monday Mystery movie next week in Mission Impossible, I'll have time to watch the first 2 Insidious movies to go see this newest one. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, turn on the notification bell. I'll be back with more reviews very soon. See you then.